They cut out for the season?
That's news to me, they were working there today, weren't they?
See all the cones and the machines, or somebody was telling me that they're gonna pick it up in the spring or after
I thought
January.
they were gonna get done that road.
Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us to use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in thy holy name. Amen. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thank you all for coming. Is there anyone in the audience who would wish to address the board in public forum?
Yep.
Go ahead,
Would you like me to come up, or?
wherever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, no, I've got on 13 South Street, I have my main property,
Yes?
and then right across the road, I've got a riverfront property, and it's totally unbuildable on there, and I'm just requesting of the board if there's a way that I can either not get water on that side and be charged for it, or how you work it, I'm not quite sure.
Okay. When you say it's unbuildable, for what reason?
Well, I've only got 65 feet of property to the river,
Yes,
and it's 149 feet long, and it narrows down to nothing. So there's no way that you can build on that property. You can't put a septic system on that property.
okay. The town has, under the new laws, like 20 years ago, you had to have a roughly 40,000 square foot lot, roughly an acre to build, if you did not have water and sewer. But if you got water and sewer, you can build on a smaller lot. So I don't know if it would qualify or not for, if you had water and sewer on that.
Yeah, well, they had, years ago back, I think around 1970 or so, before I owned the home, they had put a cesspool on the other side
Yes,
to catch the gray waters.
yes,
And I was made from DEC and Clinton County Health Department to put 1,000 gallon tanks in my front yard with a pump station and run it up to the back of my property to a raised bed.
okay.
So it seems to me that it wouldn't be deemable that they would let me have, any type of septic system or gray water system on the other side of the road. And I can't do a split merge because there's a road in between there. I have my main property,
Yes,
but I go probably about 10 feet in, once you're off the road, and then there's probably a 14-foot drop that goes level right with the river.
okay.
So, I mean, it could be a flood zone if we have high waters.
Well, I did get the request today in writing here,
Right,
okay? And I did ask the engineers to take a look at that lot.
right.
Hopefully you do it by the end of the year.
Yep.
We have one more meeting this year. We call it end of year meeting to pay our bills and stuff. I think
Yep.
it's the 28th or 29th of December. So if they can take a look at that and come up with a suggestion, an idea, we'll certainly listen to them. I can only think of one other lot that we reduced the EDUs to 1.1.
.1.
In other words,
Reduce
10%
from
of
0.5
1%.
to .1.
I know they reduced the value of the property because of the way the lie of the
Okay.
land is.
We reduced that one because it was a landlocked lot, approximately 1/10 of an acre, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
You couldn't even physically access the property,
So
and it was on.
each case is really unique in itself, we have to take a look at each one.
Correct.
And I was not aware of this one, for certain.
Yeah, it's kind of a last minute
Yeah,
thing on you. And I apologize
Okay.
about that.
and I will ask our zoning guy, maybe Pedro, if that is available or not.
I did talk to Michael on that right there, and he said that it was deemable unbuildable
Okay? Okay.
on that lot.
It's less than 10,000?
Yeah, it's less than 10,000 square feet, so I don't think you can build on it.
Okay, okay. You're asking, you're kind of asking me questions I don't have the answers for. Because
No, I understand totally.
Pardon?
I understand.
Okay, I know on a new lot, where they have no water or sewer, it has to be 40,000 feet. Am I correct, Julie? It's got to be at least 175 feet on the road, I believe.
It's either 150 or 175.
Yes. Okay. It doesn't have to be a square lot, it can be narrow on the road.
Right.
But there is a, I thought it was 175, maybe 150 on the road.
Yep.
But where there's water and sewer available, you can build on a smaller lot, am I correct?
That I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I don't,
I'm just going by like what DEC and Clinton County Health Department told me, that I could have no type of
Okay.
gray water or septic system over there.
I have your request.
Yes, sir.
I will have the engineers take a look at it. I would hope to act on this one way or the other
Sure.
at our last board meeting of the year. I believe it's the 29th. Okay?
Very good.
Hopefully we answered your questions,
You did.
not to the
You
full
did.
satisfaction maybe, but
Yep, I just wanted to present it to the
Yes.
board and, get it in the minutes,
yes.
and that way we
Well,
can
we-
move forward with this.
We went through several of these about a year ago, and I was not aware of this one. We could have handled it at the same time and handled some other ones.
Right,
I wasn't aware of it.
right.
Okay.
But with that right there, I gave you the parcel ID
Yes,
numbers.
that's
and-
easy, yeah, we can get.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, or,
No, that's it, sir.
okay, thank you for
Okay.
coming.
Thank you very much.
You can hang around for the whole meeting.
Yeah, no, I
Anybody else?
appreciate everybody listening to me, and we'll take it from there.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
You gentlemen have a good evening.
We'll
Ma'am?
try. Anyone else in the audience who
Good.
wish to address the board?
Yeah, Larry, I'd like to say a few things.
Yes, you may.
Okay, Clark Curtick's wife Janet, back about a year ago, asked me to join what is known as the Waterfront Revitalization Committee. And so, as most of you that know me know, I usually, when I take on something, I usually get right in as much as I possibly can. And so, I feel that we need to do a lot of dredging on not only the mouth of the river, but the whole river. And this evening, we have the good fortune of having Renee McFarland, who's with me here, from Lee Stefanik's office. She's the Plattsburgh Regional Director. She's going to say a few words too. And like I say, I'd like to see something done, and I'm taking as many steps as I can within my limited capacities to do so. And like I said, I've talked to quite a few various agencies in the last few days, and I've talked to Senator Gillibrand's office this morning, as well as Senator Schumer's office. I've also reached across the pond to Senator Leahy's office and spoke with them. I've talked to the DEC folks up at Raybrook, Mr. Fred Dunlop, and he had a few suggestions. His first, of course, would be to reach out to the Army Corps of Engineers. I've talked to Mr. John Connell down at Waterville Arsenal on the subject. He said that he would have no problems issuing the necessary permits to do so. It's just a matter of the funding, as you can all imagine. Money is always a huge object. Anyway, he also suggested that I could speak to the Water Resource Development Act folks and see what they would have to offer. That's something that I have yet to do. A third avenue that he suggested was another thing known as the Water Quality Improvement Project. A fellow by the name of Vic Putnam, I believe he suggested. There's also another avenue with the New York Department of State, with Billy Jones will be coming in, I believe, on that. And the Economic Development Grants is another suggestion that they possibly could have. On the Vermont side of the issue, there's another outfit called Lakes and Ponds that are associated with Army Corps of Engineers. Also the Lake Champlain Basin Program. There's some various things there that could be done by talking with those folks. Like I say, Senator Leahy's office, Tom Berry, the representative there for Senator Leahy, said that we could possibly invoke Federal Law 542. So anyway, those are some of the different things that I've come up with on my own. And like I said, I think that it would benefit us both our future generations and us now, if something could be done in dredging that river, so.
I'm sure you have something to present to us, but just a little, if I could give just 2 minutes of history.
Absolutely.
3-4 years ago, when Bill Owens was the congressman, we approached Bill Owens. He knew somebody in the Army Corps of Engineers. We applied for a grant, not to do the study, but the actual dredging. And they came back to us several months later. There was no money for recreational dredging of rivers. Because mostly the boat marina owners at the mouth of the river were concerned. And my theory was, yes, it's recreational to the boat owners, but it's commercial to the marina owners. But nobody seemed to want to listen to us at that time. I hope you have some good news or something for us. Go ahead.
So the Water Resource Development Act that you referenced came out this year as the Water Infrastructure Improvements for the Nation Act. The House just passed the bill, the Senate partner bill, and the Congresswoman actually got an amendment in there for ice jam prevention and mitigation. So this is an authorization bill under what used to be WRDA. So the energy and water bill that'll be coming up hopefully in the first quarter of the new year would be a potential avenue to get funding appropriated for this project. The Corps of Engineers does have a certain amount of authority over which projects get done, and that's really where the commercial versus recreational tends to come in. That being said, there may be a better way to try to get this project funded through the appropriations process early this year. So that's what we've been working on. Like I said, this was the Congresswoman's amendment to that bill. So doing that with this situation in mind, it's something we've been looking at since I think late summer. So what we really need is information on what it's going to cost. If there are any studies that have been done, one of the information packets that Rob gave me was seems to say that there was at least a proposal for a study to be conducted, or there was a study conducted.
Renee, I have some stuff for you here. This is from John Zerlo's office.
Okay.
And this was some of the study that was done, and there's also, it's roughly 40 years ago that the mouth was dredged.
Right.
And those were actually 77, so just about 40 years ago. 4,170 cubic yards at that time. And those are the cost and what they are today. I don't know if you wanted to
This
just read
is
it. And I'm not-
Andy Dula, right?
Right, I believe so, yeah.
So he's kind of the guy I'm looking for, because unless there has been more formal information put forth, I think he's going to be in the best position to give us numbers on what it's going to cost from beginning to end. Now, please understand that this isn't a guarantee that the funding is appropriated. The Congresswoman is trying, and that starts with this ice jam amendment to the WWIN bill. But like I said, we'll need more information when we get to the appropriations part of this. So some good news, or at least a step in the right direction on it. And any help you can give us on this as far as, what it's going to cost and what exactly needs to be done would be greatly appreciated.
That's where I don't know where to go as far as getting an estimate of what it would cost to remove it. I don't know who could do that for us. I assume.
I believe, Larry, the folks that did the original dredging, I'd have to contact them. I'm not sure, like I said, if they're still in existence or if they've been bought up by another entity or what the story is, but I'm sure there are people out there that, do this type of work that could give us some idea of just what it would be.
There also may be some funding available to get those studies conducted. If it's not something that's done, I really need to, our legislative team member who really worked on this issue with the Congresswoman, her name is Leslie, I'm going to get her contact information to whomever would be the most appropriate person to give her a better idea of which direction to go with the Congresswoman pursuing, trying to get appropriations for this project. So I was, the first person I did think of was Andrew Abdullah with ADC, because he and I had spoken about this previously, the previous reports. But any other info you want to give me, any other contacts would be great.
Steve, can you remember if we gave you a proposal?
Yeah,
I think we did, and then we chose to submit for that planning grant
Yes.
before we moved forward with
yes.
this.
We did do a submittal for a grant to determine the cost.
Spend it for CFA, that
Yeah.
Lake Champlain Basin program you mentioned?
Yes.
I know they offer planning grants too. That would be-
Eric Howe, he's currently taking over.
I don't
from Bill
remember the
Holland.
name, I just know that we did attempt to get monies to come up with a number, an accurate number for what it would cost, because obviously the number of cubic yards may not be the same based on the circumstances now versus 40 years ago. Now, are we qualified under this ice jam issue? Because there has been historically issues with the mouth of the river and ice jams, specifically around the ice storm in '98. That whole area flooded at the mouth of the river because of an ice jam. So are we on the right track in your mind with regard to that? Are we qualifying under your appropriation?
It is my understanding that yes, this is where that would go. That's the authorization under which the appropriation would be granted.
You know, one thing I recall, if you don't mind me saying so, is that when we approached the Congresswoman's office with this project, it was kind of, this probably won't work because it could affect more important items within the overall budget, and that she didn't want this to be something that would cause her appropriations to not go through because it was deemed recreational. Is there still that concern, or could it fall off as a result of it being deemed recreational versus commercial? And how do we make sure that it is more on the side of commercial? Because we've got signatures from the marina owners and a lot of support for this from a commercial standpoint. These guys are really suffering as a result of loss of revenue because sailboats can't get in the river, or if they get in, then they can't get back out again. And that's my history of what we've been through so far to try to get this moving. And I commend you, Rob, too, because this is the kind of stuff that we need
Right, Steve.
to go after. So, you know, I think it's a step in the direction that we need to go, for sure.
To me, I feel it's long overdue. It's something that's been put off and put off, they're kicking the can down the road. And another thing too I want to point out, Steve, while we're on that subject, is some of these various folks I've talked to me, there should be, if we can get this, if this comes to fruition, there should be some kind of mechanism in place whereby there's some kind of a periodic maintenance, so that this doesn't become a problem down the road. You know, I'm going to advocate for that.
It is an accumulation of
So,
runoff
yeah,
over
exactly.
time.
It's just, you know, the way it is. So,
So Anthony, can you look back in the history to see what we did do? Because I know we attempted and see where that went.
If,
I don't know if did we budget anything for help with this?
We went to Eddie Little's office a couple of years ago, Brian, and I, looking for some money to do a study. She had no money for study, she had money for capital project, but no money for study. It seems odd, you know, you've got to have a study before you get a project. It was kind of a dead issue, at least with the state at that time. And I guess because it's comes under the Army Corps of Engineers, which is federal, I guess that's where we need to deal with more than the state. Although we need the state to at least buy into the project, so to speak.
we did conduct a lot of outreach to various agencies to ensure that, because when you talk to Corps of Engineers, they will tell you that it's possible that other agencies could have a stake in this, but this is really a Corps of Engineers territory, from my understanding of it. the other resources that you mentioned, potentially through BEC or water quality improvement projects, I think that is an application that comes around earlier in the year, at least in the first half of it. So that's something you should keep an eye out for. I would not discourage you from continuing to pursue those other avenues and grant opportunities, especially if you have one grant application package put together. Even if you think you have to update the numbers a little bit, you've got a good foundation to work from. I just want to touch on your concerns about the commercial versus recreational. We do understand that this is a commercial concern for the marina owners and for the town at large. We have tried to couch it as such to the Corps of Engineers. The funding that I previously spoke with John Connell about is definitely something that they prioritize commercial over recreational on, and they have the ultimate authority on that. I don't know how far we may be able to get through energy and water in the appropriations process. That is something that first of all, it is not my area of expertise. That would be Leslie in our Washington office. But second of all, I honestly can't tell the future. I don't know what we're going to be looking at come first quarter. But if you could get me the grant application that you originally submitted, if you can make any updates to it, I would really appreciate that, so I can get it to Leslie and the Congresswoman so that they can start looking at that to help guide them on the appropriations end of this.
Plus it shows the history of our efforts as well. It's not just something we're coming up with
Right.
tonight.
Absolutely.
We've been trying this for 4, 5, 6 years now. I mean, I don't know where I hope.
Wave the magic wand tonight, Mary.
Wait, no magic wand.
Oh,
No
yeah,
magic wand.
okay.
We don't have a magic wand, but we are trying.
Thank you.
Elise needs to know that we appreciate whatever she's done or can do for us.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Of course.
I just don't know where to go with it sometimes. We try and you get knocked down,
Yeah, the cost is way beyond what the town could ever afford. I mean, we have to get federal or state help, and, it's just something we need help with, to help the marina owners out. And also the flooding concerns too. That Lakeshore Road floods out frequently, and it can even affect the village of Champlain. So it floods a lot from those ice jams. It's amazing. So this sounds like a good program.
It's not just the marina owners, other businesses in town lose.
Right.
People don't come here to moor their boats, they, gas stations, stores, and there's dollars to lose here. I think.
It's multifaceted, I guess would be the way to say.
Pardon?
Multifaceted
Yes.
situation.
Yes, very much so.
Larry, I just wanted to point out too, when talking to Fred Dunlap and addressing Brian's concern about the financial situation, that's why he suggested I reach out across the pond to Senator Delaney's office, and the more pots of money that can be tapped from, and the more that, that, in other words, we're not talking just about a local thing, this is involving actually 2 states, really, because Lake Champlain is a major center of commerce, you know what I'm saying? And the tributaries, the rivers that feed them, if they can be a viable waterway, then, it's going to be all the better for all concerned. And also, I wanted to mention to Anthony, while speaking with Tom Barry's office, he mentioned Jason Shea. Would you be familiar with that? There again, another Army Corps of Engineer person. That's the 917 area. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to contact him yet because I just got this information about 5 o'clock this afternoon. So anyway, that's about all I've got, and hope it's of some value.
We thank you for your interest.
Bye. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Okay.
If I could say one more thing, I think the more people that reach out to more people with the Corps of Engineers, the better, because they know that the Congresswoman has an established interest in this, and they know we're hoping to get this funding for the district. But again, depending on how exactly the funding goes through, they have a certain amount of discretion, and the more people who are pushing to get the funding here, the more they'll think that there's a pressing need for it, I think.
This past summer was probably worse than usual. The lake was much lower than usual, the river was lower than usual. It's not gonna get any better
No,
on its own.
exactly. Get worse if anything.
Certainly, the mountain river needs dredging just outside the end of the river. And I have no problem dredging the whole river, but that would be a dream.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm saying, Larry, talk about the longboats that
Yes.
Janet had, I mean, even they got hung up, and they don't draw anything, you know what I'm saying, compared to a bigger craft. But, I mean, anything is better than nothing. And even if they can go through and get some of those,
Yeah.
big boulders out and make it a little more navigable, like I say, something's better than nothing at all. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
From the Route 11 bridge up to the park in Champlain there, you can launch a boat. It's almost impossible to bring a boat down through there, of any size at all.
Well, you know where I am. 1989 is the last time we launched from our location in Champlain. And at that time, my dad says, hey, boy, this river is in dire need of some dredging. And that's almost 28 years ago now,
Yep.
so.
Well, we thank both of you. We
Yes,
appreciate you
very
coming.
much.
Thank you.
Linda, you must have something for us.
Nothing. I just came to look at all your lovely faces.
Well, I hope you're not disappointed then.
No, I'm very happy. I'm gonna go home happy. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. No, the girls had to come, my daughters, for their college. They had to come and sit at a meeting.
Oh, okay,
What
So
did
it's
they do?
good. I actually enjoyed it.
Government, okay, that makes sense.
okay. Well, you're more than welcome.
You might
to
see
stay
me
home.
more often. I enjoy sitting here.
Do you? Well, we enjoy looking at you.
And I appreciate you guys all pushing your chairs after and keep everything clean, because I'm the one that has to come here on Friday to clean. Make sure everything's straightened. I'm just picking. You are all lovely people. I actually liked it. I like listening to stuff.
I paid her to say that early on.
No wonder there.
Thank you all. I hope you get an experience.
I did. I actually, so this is it?
Oh, no, we got all the story.
Oh, you guys were all picking up your papers like it was the end. I was like, wow.
Wow, we're just getting ready to go.
We always let the people in the audience speak first if they have an issue they want to bring to us. And
Beautiful.
that's how we know. That's how we are alerted to possible.
I see there's a chair empty over there. I was thinking about jumping in that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You don't want to be on TV, so.
No.
I would like a motion, if possible, to approve the minutes of November 9th, the regular board meeting.
I so move.
Second. Any questions on the board meeting minutes of November 9th? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. We had a special board meeting on November 28th. Okay. Pertaining to the Consolidated Water District. I need a motion to approve, if that's the desire of the board.
Make a motion, we approve this special meeting on November 28th. No other guys can make it, but,
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any questions? Those in favor? Opposed? That's also carried. We also had a special board meeting on November 1st. Very highly unusual, we have 3 meetings. December 1st, I'm sorry. Could I have a motion to approve the December 1st special board meeting? Thank you. Any questions?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd like to abstain on all three of those.
Okay. We need to approve the town clerk's monthly report.
I'll make a motion to approve the town clerk's monthly report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Is there any questions on the town clerk's monthly report? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Julie. Just for your information, you have the planning board minutes of December 1st meeting. DMS contract. Just got this a day or two ago. I would like to send it on down to Bill Fabro for review.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
very
you
much.
for having me. I'm gonna leave a couple of my cards, I'll pop in a second.
Okay, thank you. If there's no objections, I would really like this
To go by our new lawyer.
go by a lawyer. Okay.
Motion to table or just not?
I table it because I really feel that it should be looked over, okay?
I agree.
And there's no objections to that, okay? We'll take action on that hopefully by the end of the year. We got a renewal for our comp insurance through PERMA. This is strictly for your information. This is all budgeted for. Do not need to pass. It's strictly for information. And the next one is also upcoming legal case that's going to be held in the county court. Judge Ryan has he adjourned the hearing on November 17th to the 20th of January. Just for your information. Second page tell you it's a legal issue. Who is with, for. Okay. Daimler is our insurance carrier for liability and fire insurance and everything on our building here. They came, they reviewed the premises, came up with a few things that we need to do, and as far as our policy handbook goes, I checked with Alan, one or two of these have already been done, and we're certainly going to be working on the rest of them. Anybody's got any input on any of them, please let us know. For instance, the bottom one on the first page has already been taken care of, fire safety. Okay. We need to get our boilers inspected, even though they're almost new. We gotta do violence in the workplace, weapons in the workplace, anti-harassment and discrimination. We have to have, we'll have a seminar, some hearing.
Well, we don't have to. This is what
Well,
they're recommending.
They're recommending, but if you don't do what they recommend, you will know about it when you get your next year's premium. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but you notice their cover letter on the top, it doesn't mean anything. They basically say that they've attached a recommendation. This report does not imply that other hazardous conditions do not exist, and we assume no responsibility for the implementation of these recommendations.
Right.
So,
Thanks.
you know, I mean, it's kind of giving with one hand and taking away with the other. We're recommending this, but we're still going to charge you a lot more than we did before.
Okay.
You know, it's,
Oh, yeah.
it just,
But if you don't do them, they'll remind you again next year.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but I mean, you know, they assume no obligation for,
Some of them are sort of easy to do and should be done anyways. Okay. You have your letter that went out to the Clinton County Youth Board, your annual reports. Chauvin Agency, this is the same one now, getting to those 9 issues. I believe there's 9. We need to establish a 6-hour workday for the recreational director, recreation assistant, pool director, lifeguard, and bus driver. Desire the board, this is for reporting these employees to the retirement board. Okay? They have to submit a copy of their work hours. They have to get at least 6 hours to get a full day's credit in the retirement. So if I could have a motion to approve a 6-hour workday for those 5. Recreation director, assistant director, pool, lifeguard, and bus driver. That's the bus driver for the swim program. Okay.
Is this,
Okay.
question,
Yes.
does this encumber the town for any further expense
Uh,
other than the hourly?
Yes, we have to pay on the retirement of these employees. They are our employees.
I think we need to make the motion second and then, right, or.
Motion for what now?
Well, in the second.
We're discussing it.
All right, agreed.
Are we need to make a motion first before we discuss it, or not?
Yes.
I'm just saying, because this, I've got a lot of questions.
Okay. Could I have a motion then first to approve 6-hour work days for these 5?
I so move.
Thank you.
And I'll second.
Question?
Is there history behind this? Is this the first year that we've done this? I don't
The
recall
state,
this.
the state has required us to establish a work date
No, I mean,
for their benefits.
year after year. I don't
The
remember.
auditor was here
This is the auditor's
recently,
recommendation.
and this is his recommendation that we have to do this.
We have to do it anyway, there's nothing we can't get around it.
So, if I understand this, then a person who is I'll just say, a lifeguard, just seasonal lifeguard.
Yes, these are all seasonal employees. But they're,
The 6 hours they spend, those are accumulated, and it eventually will lead to retirement benefits.
yes.
Well, my understanding, this is only people that are already in the system, New York State retirement. So if it's somebody that is not in the New York State retirement, they don't apply. If there's a bus driver, but he's not in the New York State retirement, then it's only ones that already.
I do believe the bus driver now is
Maybe
in the
it'd be a
retirement.
school employee, right?
Yes.
First.
Yes.
First.
So if she's in the retirement somewhere else, New York State retirement, she has to, if she works for us, she has to be participated here.
Okay.
Yeah.
If she's not, he or she is not in the system through another employer, they do not have to take it, but they have to sign a waiver here that they decline to take it, okay?
Okay.
But there is a cost. These are our employees, even though they're part-time for summer. Okay?
And there's a
They're
cost.
paid, they're paid,
for town-
these people are paid through our payroll,
Right.
okay? Some of these people only make like $300, some are 600, depending on which ones they are, a year.
Right, I just, like I said, this is new to me, so I'm
Okay.
coming up to speed. So you're saying that the number of hours actually worked don't change as a result of this
No.
classification?
No. Okay. When I was in the system here, I had to keep a track of the time. And I was part-time here, I wasn't full-time. And I had to keep track of my hours to turn into the retirement system. Any elected official that's in the retirement system has to keep a log for 3 months after when they start their term. Even if it's a new term, re-election term, they have to keep a log for 3 months. I believe, did you have to do that?
No, I have to keep the time sheet
Oh, time sheet, that's right.
and the calendars too.
Every week.
Yeah.
So in past history, we have not
I have not done this before.
paid retirement.
No, I do not believe so. I'm most positive of that.
Okay.
Okay?
Does this obligate us in any way to part-time benefits?
No, there is no benefits for part-time employees. I mean, benefits such as health insurance or anything
Yeah.
like that, no.
I think this is just for
No.
retirement.
They're-
That's why it has to be.
They get no sick time, they get no vacation time, they get no health insurance. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
It's retroactive.
I will say it's, from what I understand, it's getting harder and harder to get these people to do these.
Well, no, I'm just, I understand that, I can understand.
But if we're past this now, is this in recording the hours now, or is it retroactive for people who have been in this for many years?
To my knowledge, it's from this day forward. I don't know that it's retroactive.
I think it's gonna start on the first of the year.
This starts January 1.
Well, I'd have to ask Jane that, but,
Yeah, I think so, Jane said to me.
okay. Any other questions?
Do we have a rough idea what this is gonna add for recreation program costs? Because that's what it's gonna do.
I only know that we pay into the retirement system. As a new employee, you pay 3% of your salary to the retirement system, and the town matches. So it'd be at least roughly 3%. Now, these people making $300 a year, they gotta pay $9 roughly to
Okay.
get credit for that in the retirement system, and we have to pay on that also.
Think about it.
So,
Money they'll never collect.
It's
totally,
called nitpicking.
if all these people together was
Okay.
$2,000-3,000,
I'm
we have to
good, I
pay.
just wanted to understand this
So I do believe I have a motion and a second. Is there any other questions?
Is this something we need to research more and pass it at our last meeting in December? Or should we wait and do it now?
I have no problem delaying it. I see no reason to delay it. It's the will of the board.
Questions? No answer.
If you got more questions, you really need clarification through Jane. She's the,
Well, the thing is, these people, because of the states, actually did our audit, and that's what they recommend doing, because they're gonna, it's a law, you gotta do it anyhow. Because they are working for us, and we have to pay state retirement on them. That's all there is to it.
The auditor said that was something that had to be done.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many different titles,
It's a
because
mandate. Right.
each one is different.
well, each one of these are paid different too. Yeah. Okay. I believe the bus driver is an hourly position. The others are, you know, like director gets so much for the season,
Yeah.
for the season.
And they're gonna have to turn in their hours similar like Alan does and she does. It's the same deal with the state one, of course. They want to keep track of everything. I guess this is another way to keep track of everything.
The auditors were in here, some real good recommendations for Jane. She's gonna go over them. They were here auditing just the youth programs, nothing else.
Recently?
Pardon?
Recently?
Just left here last week?
He was here at least a month.
Oh, well,
He
he
was
was
here
in,
at least a month or more.
yeah, but he was only in and out. Some days he was here half a day, some days,
Right now.
yeah. Yeah, very nice.
That's going down to the village, whole villages after this.
I would say there was no findings of anything wrong. There was only suggestions for improvement, which is always good. Okay? Very sharp fellow that did these, okay?
Yeah, he looks like he's about 20.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
He's in his 40s. Look at the guys, you're the auditor?
I think so.
Don't
Look
look
at
at
him
this.
every day.
No, he looked very, very
Yeah,
young.
I thought he told me he had like 17 years with the state or something.
Well, we got a bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I do have a motion.
I'm so sorry. I just want to drop these.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having
I
me.
thank the
Thank you.
congresswoman for us.
Oh, will do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have a motion. I want to call for a vote. If the vote doesn't pass, we'll bring it back in the last meeting of the year. Okay? So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Young,
Am I up?
you're up, Mr. Young. I shouldn't have held you up this long. I
No, that's all right.
thought I'd be through this in 3 minutes, you know?
We thought we'd have you down the road. Do the best. Yeah.
He's only driving to Watertown.
Not that far.
It'll be dark all the way home.
Yep.
Real dark.
We can start with the water project update. A few of you were at the project meeting today. I went a little long, but Castell's at 68% complete.
68?
68%.
That's pipe in the ground.
Yep. Total project. Yeah.
Okay,
So pipe in the ground, probably a little more than 68%
okay.
for main line. But services, they still have a lot left. They expressed today they have no concern of not meeting the May 1st substantial completion. We questioned them on it. You know, they had a concern they could have an issue, and John asked them twice, I asked them today, they clearly stated.
He made a statement they were gonna knock off, to do some machinery, updates on the machinery and stuff, and the machines had to be, must be greased and serviced, whatever, that's what they asked for. And they're gonna be off until, what was the date coming back?
January 10th. So there'll only be one crew next week working on the PRV vaults. January 10th, they're gonna bring back a second crew.
What do those actually do? 'Cause there's one on my street and I'm curious what they're doing.
That's reducing the pressure. We're putting 7 of them around the village. They act like a bowl. The bottom of the village is gonna be increased pressure from the water tanks. That's actually gonna reduce the pressure so they don't burst pipes in the homes.
Oh, so you mean in the mainline pipes, you're not, okay.
Yep, yeah, it'll be reduced right in the main line.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
we
curious.
remember-
I remember the process, but I didn't remember
Yep.
the mechanics of it. And how you have to put those pits in.
So the bypass will be used until the tanks are turned online. The PRVs actually won't be operating.
Okay.
Yes, Clark?
Over the past several years, there have been at least 4 mainline water breaks, what you call the bowl in the village,
Mhm.
okay? And you would anticipate something like that happening late in the wintertime or spring, having to do with frost. But some of these breaks are happening at times that are almost unpredictable. So my question is, are these, in your opinion, are these breaks being caused by too much pressure? Is the new equipment that's going to be going in perhaps something that can regulate pressure down in that bowl area and thereby possibly reduce these breaks? Or is that something totally unrelated to what you guys are doing?
From what I'm told, I think it's unrelated. I don't think it's a pressure. I think it's just soil material in that area. I don't believe any of the pipe is wrapped. We're putting that poly wrap on the pipe to help eliminate the corrosive soil. So, at least from what I'm told, I think it's the soil in that area. And what doors right on that corner of Route 11, just from the traffic.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything to do with pressure,
Okay.
from my understanding. And it will be reduced from the new tanks. From what it's seeing right now, it's probably pretty similar. The pressure probably won't change much at all. I'd have to look back and see what the pressure is right now, but
Yeah, people up on Prospect complaining about very, very low pressure.
yes, yep. So, and they're the driving factor for the tank heights to get them pressure.
Right. Okay.
So, and that was two of the areas where two of the alternates that we bid.
So what about cosmetics? I mean, that's one of the things I hear about these guys all the time is yards that are still look like crap. Do we still have any recourse in the spring to, I mean, we're Chauvin's, former Pockets Insurances, it's still,
Well, it's not
they didn't
there.
put any soil on
It's
there
not
at
there.
all.
It's all over the place. Everything they've
Well,
done
I'm
is
just
like
using,
that.
yeah, I'm using that as an example. You know, they didn't use any soil at all.
We talked to
They
this
just
guy
used-
today, Anthony, myself, Greg was here, Mike was here, we talked to, Brian was here, but everybody mentioned the same thing to him. And we got the same answer, we're gonna take care of that. Well,
Okay.
we-
And we've paid a minimal restoration too. There's two restoration line items, one for a lawn area, one for a field, say.
Okay.
And we actually cut that in half. So we pay them half when they do the work, and then we pay another half when the grass is growing.
Okay.
So,
Because some of the field looks better than the lawn work does, honestly.
It does.
yeah,
I mean, I'm out there a lot and
Route
some
11
of
doesn't
it
look too
is,
bad, but-
it is just ugly. And then some of their pavement cuts are terrible too.
yep, they,
Is that gonna be addressed?
yep.
I mean,
There's a lot of pavement issues.
and what about the height of the hydrants too? There's some of them, I'm sorry, I mean,
No, that's
I
fine.
That's
don't,
the whole way.
all I feel like is that I'm concerned about us creating a quorum at these meetings, which I'm not complaining, I'm just saying I'm gonna stay out of it, watch the emails, and then ask questions when you guys are here. So if you guys are handling it, I'm fine with it. I just,
I was impressed today with the give and take on several issues. Quite frankly, Ed came across very well.
Yes,
tonight.
Yep. That's great. In the field and in meetings, he holds his own and can deal with Charlie. So,
Oh, you missed it today, buddy. I'll explain it to you later.
okay.
I was in bad shape, I went home at 2 o'clock, I really needed to.
Yeah.
I made sure somebody was here, but I understand I missed a good one, so.
So they didn't mention if they were gonna get in contact with Alan, or Alan should get in contact with them on the Prospect Street shoulder area. They said they're gonna do it to your satisfaction, so.
Well, if they can put it back the way it was, it's all that
Well,
matters.
they basically said it's pretty much the way it was before.
No, no.
We know that, we
There's
know
no
that.
piles of stones
You
there.
know,
But-
you got a 4-foot high stump sticking up out of the ground. Somebody whacks that.
He did say that he would do it to Alan's satisfaction, I believe.
you know, pre-con photos will show him that, and he offered to meet you and Eddie, and
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I had my intention, if he wasn't gonna do it, I was gonna do it in the spring.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah,
They
oh, yeah.
Do we hold back like 5 or 10% or something on the,
There's 5% on the entire job, yeah,
okay, they don't get that until we're completely satisfied?
yes.
Okay. That should be an incentive in itself.
Yep.
That's all profit at the end of the job, whatever's left.
Yep.
for them. Okay.
So sewer, I actually talked to DOT last week. They had a hiccup in their schedule, but it was only like a month hiccup. They said they're still planning to start spring construction. They were just hoping to open bids by now, actually. I think yesterday was the original plan, and that pushed out to January, but they're still waiting in the sewer agreement. I sent them the bill again, I sent them to Jeffrey Stitt, and I haven't heard back. They should be okay. I mean, they reviewed the draft, we made the changes, but, you know, sooner than later. And maybe that'll
That's
be the
number
first
one-
thing
That's the
for,
number one, that's gotta happen right off. I mean, I don't know when the transition is gonna happen, but
Well, I don't know, you know, I sat here and listened to the whole darn thing, and I wish you had been there, by the way, just to hear what went on there, but when the guy says, how many those hookup deals was he gonna do in a day or something? 100?
oh, what was your number you figured out, 150 or
Oh, yeah,
180?
you figured it out.
feet?
Oh, for the laterals?
Yeah.
Back in the water.
Yeah, to meet our substantial completion date of May 1st, he's got to do, starting tomorrow, 156 feet a day. So,
Lateral.
and they've only done a handful of laterals currently, so.
My anticipation
he's
of
gotta
this
have a
is not
bunch of
very
crews
good.
working.
He's
there.
gonna do 2 or 3 crews on laterals minimum.
So, and they didn't plan to shut down, they said they're gonna work through the cold. Cold won't affect us.
We get 4 foot
It's
across.
gonna make it for a bigger mess in the spring to fix though, when they start pulling out frozen ground. Anyway. So can I just ask, where are we with this Jeff versus Bill thing in this sewer agreement? Should we all get in the car and just drive down there?
Down where the bills?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
We need an executive session this evening to discuss legal attorneys.
Okay.
And then we can go from there. Um,
I guess I need to step back in the water project too. We had a special meeting 2 weeks ago for the district. Those 30 days will end December 28th. So on the 29th, we could award the contracts 3, 4, and 5 for the water plant. So we are gonna have some documents from the contractors for each contract for Bill or whomever to review for those as well.
Yeah, that's,
And that goes with salt storage as well. We already had those documents, I sent them the bill last week, haven't heard anything. And at that time, we were waiting on a commitment letter, which I think isn't handed out now. James just got it this
Into
afternoon.
that one right now.
So we had that commitment letter, so 29th, we can be prepared to award that too. So that's something else for an attorney to review. We looked at it, we're okay, but the legal end.
This was a letter from Betty Woodward.
but, you know,
There's 5 things right there.
yeah, and they're coming right up. Especially like the salt shed, you know, we've waited long enough, and now it has too.
Well, I got a few questions to ask about that salt shed before we, next meeting, if we can, I'll put everything together before we
Yeah,
approve
so-
the bid.
Yeah, so all 4 of these contractors have signed a letter saying they'll honor their bid price until the end of the year. So these need to be taken care of on the 29th. If,
I believe that meeting's at 9 o'clock in the morning.
yep,
You gonna make it?
yep, we'll be there.
When is that? That's on Tuesday?
No.
Thursday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
29th. So if, you know, if we need a conference call with whomever the attorney is to help explain stuff, we can do that, or meet in person, you know, to help, just help transition.
Well, I will ask Bill tomorrow, if in fact we hire a new attorney, how he'd like to handle it. Does he want to work with the new attorney for the next couple of weeks? Is he just want to turn everything over at the end of the year, or how it's going to take place? I do believe things will run as smoothly as possible. I really believe that Bill will do as best he can for us as far as,
Yeah, but he's out of the picture January 1.
Yes.
He can't
Okay,
be involved. I mean,
no.
so it's gotta happen soon, and get somebody on board who can answer our questions and work with Bill now.
Can I ask for my own benefit here when our final meeting is?
Pardon?
The date, time of our final meeting?
29th, I believe it is, Thursday, 9 o'clock in the morning. Weren't you here when we?
Yeah, I didn't put it in here
Okay.
last time, just want to make sure.
Anything else?
No, I don't have anything unless there's any questions.
Thank you for your time. Sorry to hold you up. I thought
Oh.
it was real quick here.
That's fine.
So just one question for me on the sewer project. Have we come up with a final number in your, it's not estimation, in your work for what we're gonna need to actually go out to bond for?
Yes.
We've came up with a maximum. That number can be tweaked a little bit once we secure the length of the loan and the interest rate.
Okay.
So I could probably work with Jane on
Okay, so
reaching out to banks. I don't know if she has yet or not for,
Am I correct? We need to bond 68,000 roughly?
yep, that's the maximum. I think it was a 15-year, 4% interest. So if we can get a 2% interest, we might be able to reduce it to 10-year, and it might reduce the user cost down from what we have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, let's say roughly an $800 and some $1,000 project. 415,000 of that is coming from the grant that we received 2-3 years ago. And the other is the value of the pipe that the state's putting in, am I correct?
Yes. And then it would reduce the
Half the
cost.
project, right?
Yeah, they're doing half the project,
So,
if not over.
yes, and that's really what's gonna make it work for us.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay,
that's-
there's no doubt about that.
And then all the property owners are gonna be in charge of their own service lines, which
Right.
me and Mike Kacher went and talked to almost every single one of them. And
Yes.
the cost savings to them doing it that way.
All right,
Yeah. Okay,
thank you.
any other questions for Anthony?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too, safe trip back.
Yep.
You.
I got you on speed dial.
I have you on speed dial too. Okay, see you guys
Thank you.
29th.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. We got to, you have something else for us?
No.
I believe on the desk this evening here, you got your dog control officer report. That just came in this morning. Alan, do you have anything for us on?
No, I spoke to Anthony earlier. I just had a few questions before we go along with this salt shed. I want him to look into this company. You know, if they got any brochures to send us, any recent work they've done. So he's gonna work something up by next meeting, the 29th. Should have all that for him.
Okay.
Or he's gonna send it in the meantime.
But I believe they're familiar with the company.
Yes, he is somebody that works for this company.
I don't know if everybody knows we got our new truck. You wanna?
Yeah, we got the new truck yesterday. Just got a little minor adjustment to do to it, but seems to be working out pretty good. I turned in the plates to the old truck there today, canceled the insurance on it. As soon as Bill can get us that thing there and get that final.
We'll be talking to them in the morning, hopefully. They'll call me right back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll call you right back.
Tell them we need a day of his time, just us. Seriously,
What's that?
tell them we need a day of his time between now and the end of the year.
We
To
have to
clean all
turn
this
over
up.
everything to somebody who will.
Yeah, to clean this all up.
Yes. Okay.
You know, I'm picky here, but do we take the logos off the old truck? That's always a big thing for me, is see that.
Yeah, I can call him, tell him I never thought of it. The truck left yesterday and you can call him.
Yeah, see that with school buses out in the middle of the field,
Spray
it's
can
still
do that.
northeastern on
The
us.
spray can could do that?
Yeah, well, I don't care.
Well, they got stuff
No,
that,
they're just decal, they just take them right off.
yeah, they come right out.
Oh,
All the cleaner takes them out.
you can review your post audit bills, we need to approve the monthly bills.
You would have to ask. St. Paul's State Works Incorporated is for dog tag for 10312. Lake Champlain Cleaning Services. Cleaning date from October 9th to December 1st for $1,460. Landscape structure for playground equipment, Perry Mills Park, $17,204.30.
And that's paid for by the grant through the Clinton County Health Department.
Yes.
We just have to run it through, but it's not anything the town is paying for.
Okay,
Make a motion, we approve the bills with the additions.
okay, thank you. Do I have a second? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. There's some other stuff on there, Julie, that
Water District number 6 disbursement approval number 28. Bernier and Carr Group, $53,239.55. Cassell Construction, $147,225.78. Village of Champlain meter replacement, $5,320.92. EJ Prescott meters, $99,691.09.
Well, this will be the smallest one we ever sent to sell for the last time. Well, the one before that was 800, and Larry sent a big one the last time, but as I said, they said they're 68% in the ground. Like I said, if that guy can, there's 20,000 feet of pipe you put in there, yeah, they figured got me 200 a day on, that's on the laterals there. That can be quite a project. I think we're going to find ourselves in the deep water at the end of this project.
should have asked, is there any penalties for not doing it by a certain date?
Yes, there is.
There is.
$3,000 a day.
How much?
Somebody said $3,000 a day.
Well, then you'll put some manpower on it then. That's in the contract?
Well, that's because of the performance bond.
Yeah.
But there is that statement that so much per day is in the contract.
That's what I was told. I didn't check on it, but I will.
I knew that. There was something, I don't know what it is.
That's what those guys told me. I mean, I got a little redneck at the beginning, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I can't see. That's why I wanted it in the meeting, in the minutes. Anthony asked him, and I asked him to be sure, to say, now you people are going to be done and on time with this, not a problem. That's what we were told today, right, Brian? Because I wanted that in the minutes.
I got witnesses now.
And it's in the minutes.
So that's a
you know,
good
it's
point. That's a good point, John.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna vote on this, Julie. Did I have a motion to second that? Not yet. Anybody want to pay these bills? Thank you, Brian.
I'll make a motion. to
Thank you,
pay
Brian.
the bills.
Did you second that, John?
I'll second it, sure.
I thought you did.
Sign it.
Okay. Any questions on
We're
these?
signing in the wrong place.
We're all gonna sign off on these. We better have a roll call vote for this kind of money, I guess. John?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Aye for myself, thank you. Does anybody else have anything other than executive session? Okay, I do need a motion to go into executive session.
I have one question.
Okay.
Albert Baker left me a voicemail about some kind of a light somewhere that he's looking for. Has he contacted anybody?
No?
Who?
Bumper.
Yeah, he was in here.
I think it had to do with the Twin Bridges
Yeah,
VFW.
VFW. He talked to Jane about it. I thought Jane told him to write something or come here.
Is there a light there now? It's light in the parking lot,
I don't know, he wanted
Because I
something
know the
very
town line is, one side is, the river side is us and the other side is,
Yeah.
I think what he was, I'm just seeing if anybody else has been contacted.
I haven't, I don't know.
I think he wanted to add that to the light district or something at that intersection.
Is there a lighting
There's
district?
no
there?
lighting
There's
district
no,
up there
there's no
though.
lighting district there.
No.
There isn't?
He talked to Jane about it. He did come in and talk to Jane.
Okay.
And I want to say, I think Jane told him to contact the board or to come to a meeting, but
Okay.
There's ways around that, just I said. I did that for a guy at 276. Sometimes just you need one light like that, and it's out of the, there's no district. It's cheaper for them to put up a light and pay like once a year or every 6 months or whatever. Do their own, rather than us making the district and charging them.
Taxpayers.
Yes.
They're gonna pay either way, aren't they? If you form
Well,
a
it's
district-
different, but there's nothing there. there's no district there.
If we had to create a district, they still have to pay, only those people in that district can
Yes.
pay. So they're gonna pay either way.
It's
They're gonna-
cheaper to do it, I did it with Jimmy Menard in 276, because right there was almost, there was no neighbors there. And he looked into it, and I'll tell you what, he was glad that he did. I mean, it's not bad.
Okay. I wasn't aware of this one,
It's not a,
And if I see bumper, I'll mention it.
yeah. Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss some legal matter.
Okay, thank you. Second?
I just want to thank Alan Racine again and the Highway Department and Jane for helping get the Perry's Mill Rec Park built the way.
That came through rather quickly.
It came through rather quickly, and there's a lot of work Alan had to do at the last minute with the Highway Department, and Jane was good about the bookkeeping and everything, the phone company.
Came together quickly.
It came together quickly and quite well. And, I think, we're lucky to have Alan here. And Jane.
They really had a good committee too, though.
Yeah,
They
were
the people
interested.
in the village there, or Hamlin, whatever you want to call it, they did a good darn job too.
Yeah, there were a lot of,
Have a motion for executive session, I had a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. The only thing we're going to be discussing is hiring an attorney.
Camera.
Yeah, yeah.